जय श्री राधे सब वैष्णवन को जय श्री कृष्ण श्री वल्लभाधीश की जय हो जी. So continuing on this day of reading 93, Surdas ji ki Varta chal rahi hai. So Pada Rag Bilaval. These verses are known as the Sur Sati because there are 60 of them. They are very instrumental in the understanding and the establishment of the process of devotion. Purify yourself by remembering Sri Krishna. Until then, regard this world as a mere dream. Your breaths are numbered, and fear will face you as they come to an end. If you do not foster this attitude, you will always be indulged in the pull of the senses. If you grasp knowledge and sow its seed in your heart, then only will you avoid the burning agony of rebirth. Again and again you have been taught that time has passed does not come back. Delusion and ignorance are aggressive thieves that pull you into the sensuous life, while the clock ticks away the time. Whilst you waste your time counting those moments, your end is approaching, and when your body perishes, the treasure that is your soul will be reborn elsewhere. What is the point of regretfully looking back? Old leaves do not stay on the tree. The wind that has blown past you does not return. The Creator can always make more of anything. There are so many species you could have been born into, on land or in water, birds, animals, pigs, insects, but after ages and ages you were granted human life. Still you are wasting it. That human body is like a precious jewel or a great treasure, and now you will lose it, throwing away the wish-giving jewel and picking up pieces of useless glass. You have never even sung the Lord's praise once. Your mind wanders and squanders in 10 directions at the same time. Your mind enjoys the fleeting pleasures, never satisfied even if you come to be a king or a leader. You want to rule over all the 3 worlds. Even if you then become the Lord of Heaven, earth and the subterranean regions, you still want more, and are so proud that you are never satisfied. In this way your life soon expends. You have gained no knowledge, nor ever sought to learn or change your ways. Sometimes you sit with your friends and praise each other. Sometimes you tease young girls. Sometimes you ride on elephants and horses. Sometimes you sleep in a comfortable bed. Sometimes your attendants worshipfully wave a whisk around you, and sometimes you go out like a hero to hunt. Sometimes you have door decorations and parasols made for you. Sometimes you arrange fights between elephants. But the messengers of death are standing at your door, and your desire increases all the time. You have indulged in fancy clothing and surrounded yourself with fragrant flowers and sweet fruit. You have wasted your youth in the pleasures of young ladies. You have built hundreds of doors to protect yourself and keep bards and bodyguards all around you. You don't even notice the night passing as you play with those ladies. You are full of delusion and overproud. You have accumulated so much wealth for the sake of your sons and wife. You will only wake up when death knocks at your door. Then there are no liars to join in your game of falsehood, no bards to sing your praises at your door, no more horses, no more elephants. In a single second the king becomes a beggar. So hard it is then for the heart to bear the pain of the senses now denied. You have become an orphan because you never forged a relationship with the good Lord. The twisted arrow of the warrior of death is now aimed right in front of you. You gained a human birth but amassed bad karma. You have to suffer the sad consequences now that you are at death's door. You have killed for the sake of your body and the multiple tastes for which your tongue has thirsted. When this body dies, you will become a cursed ghost. Then everybody will shout, "Ghost, ghost," and chase you out of town. You have murdered for the upkeep of a body which ultimately becomes ashes or feces. Neglecting Sri Hari, you have jumped into the fire of sensuous pleasures, and you will have to suffer progressively through the 28 hells. See Srimad Bhagavatam 5:26-32. Wake up! You who think this world is yours, it is Maya who tells you in your dreams to think, "This is mine." No one but Sri Krishna can liberate you from all of this. His compassionate nature is his perfect reputation. You can't rely on other deities to help you. They will tell you one thing, but what they dole out to you is of many varieties. You have passed your life smitten by great thirst, but you could never get enough of running towards the mirage. Other deities might grant you fleeting pleasure, but who, other than Sri Krishna, can truly deliver you from all of this? The god of retribution, Yama, also calls you, "Listen, you of debauched ways. Have you forgotten just how much you have had for lust and sensuality?" He has protected you through uncountable births. He has always kept you safe from every danger and removed your fears. He gave you your hands, eyes, feet, nose, and mouth. He gave you your lifeblood, but you only used all of these for your selfish pleasures. You still cannot understand that this pleasure is all a dream. You have still not come close to the Lord of your life. O great offender, just how many spears of retribution can you tolerate? Not one single Vedic rule have you followed. You have passed through countless human births, but each time have ignored the path of devotion and run in the wrong direction. Time has passed you by. Only now you repent, but it's too late. Will you deserve another human body? When the Lord made himself clear for you to see, you just turned your back on him. How will you ever expect to fulfill any single purpose of life? You received the wish-giving touchstone. Whatever touches it turns to gold, but you threw it in the ocean. Realizing your foolishness, you now beat your brow. The wish-granting jewel you took for a cowrie shell. Seeing the limits of your idiocy, the Lord was still most compassionate to you. And the Lord gave you the wish-fulfilling tree, and you cut it at its roots. How will you ever find another one? He gave you a bowl full of the sweetest honey, but you chucked it away and drank poison instead. You have forsaken the wish-giving cow and the birthless one. You discarded the strength of the elephant in exchange for that of a jackal. Without the dark beloved, you have wasted your chance in this human body like a tormented, chained monkey. What have you done? Why did you not cultivate the behaviour given to you as an example by Shuka, Sanaka, and Sananda? Gods, men, sages, even devils will serve you if you so much as take to worshipping the feet of Sri Hari. If you revere the Lord by circumambulating him and bowing your head to him, then even Cupid, the god of lust, could not touch you. Worshipping him, you will gain great happiness, and for he will not then forget even a fool like you. His name alone has uplifted countless sinners. He relieves the burning afflictions arising from your actions in this birth. Be fearless, and you will find the treasure that is devotion. Then the serpent of time will never be able to devour you. Give all your life over to Sri Krishna's name and his feet. He will certainly liberate you from the diseased disturbance that is this worldly existence. The Srimad Bhagavatam is your best benefactor. Surdas says, I am a beggar at Sri Hari's door. Please take me, most fallen, who now bows his head. Grant me the fearlessness that issues from the dust of your feet. Part 8 continued. Hearing this, the shopkeeper's devotional mood was solidified. His material attachments, habits, and desires were dissolved. He gained knowledge and renunciation, but above all devotion. He became so attached to Srinathji's lotus feet and began to experience the great bliss of his form. He was absorbed in the nectar of his love. By the grace of Surdas's association, that greedy man was transformed and fulfilled. Surdas was that greater devotee, Bhav Prakash. Fundamentally, he was a divine soul. He is a Sakhi of Sri Lalita, and his name is Viraj. When he kept the company of Surdas, he remembered the eternal Leela. That is why the company of great devotees is most important. Part 9. On one occasion, Paramananda Das and 10 or 15 Vaishnavas all came to Gokul to meet Sri Surdas and to have the holy sight of Sri Govardhanachi. After the ceremony of waving the lights, the last one of the day, when the Lord was about to take rest, they all gathered around Surdas. He greeted them all with great respect and began to sing. If you meet one of the Lord's own people, even just for a second, then neither the joy of heaven nor the joy of devotion can equal that privilege. Know then that all your meritorious acts have reached their glorious reward by the grace of the Lord. The poet Surdas now sings, the Srimad Bhagavatam has praised the glory of the feet of those who love Sri Hari. Padarag Kanharo, when the Lord is pleased with someone, then they will get to meet Vaishnavas, and all their sins will be rubbed out. When their mind begins to enjoy the bliss of Sri Hari's pastimes, then all of its old bad habits are destroyed. The poet Surdas now states, know that this will all certainly happen when the form of Sri Hari appears. Rag Kedaro, the Lord's own devotees are the most glorious. Great wise men and saints are humbled by them. On a throne made of firm faith, they seat the Lord. Their praise of him becomes the umbrella above his head, and thus their Lord remains supreme and incomparably. Their firm faith is his kingdom and inspires the populace to great enthusiasm. Lust, anger, pride, infatuation, and greed are stronger than thieves. When Sri Hari's devotees quaff the nectar of the love that they have for his lotus feet, then they become steeped in his nature. The minister of that kingdom is knowledge, and he has no spare time to speak of doubts. Mundane riches and desires stay far away from there, whilst dharma and liberation bow their heads. Humility and wisdom are the two impressive doorkeepers, and they never neglect their duty. The 8 supernatural powers stand in attendance at the door with their hands folded and respect in their hearts. The door guards who bear sticks are renunciates who remove the jokers from that place. The pull of the mundane world cannot affect those who know the ways of the beloved's love. The poet Surdas now states, Attaining a human birth is the grace of the Guru. Rag Hamir. When a saintly soul comes to your house as a guest, then know that this is the reward for millions of pilgrimages, holy baths and temple visits. Their face is always blooming, they always have Sri Thakurji's feet in their hearts. Their thoughts, deeds and speech are all focused on the Lord. They are always remembering the Lord and make others remember him too. They never lie, neither do they require a title, and they only ever sing the pure praises of the Lord. The poet Surdas now instructs, only develop affection for those who love the Lord, for they can help you to see him. Surdas continued to sing many such poems to the Vaishnavas. They were all extremely happy to hear them. Surdas then asked them to fulfill him by making some request of him. They asked him to sing of knowledge, yoga, the supreme reality, and about the true form of love and affection for Sri Thakurji. Surdas then sang, Rag Bihagaro. No one has ever truly attained the Lord through the practice of yoga alone. On Sri Krishna's command, Brahma the Creator performed many austerities, but the Lord did not offer him the taste of the rasa dance. Sanskar used yoga, Shankara used yoga to worship the Lord and drew that highest essence into his heart, but Sri Krishna never put his arm around his neck, nor sung sweetly together with him. He never granted the shade even from a blade of grass to the great Maharishi Bhagadawal, but when it rained over Vraja, and knowing the residents to be troubled, Sri Krishna held up the Sri Giriraj mountain above them as shelter. The Brahmin sage Durvasa only ever ate grass, but the Lord would not protect him from the heat of the Sudarshan chakra, although he could have swallowed the blaze. The sage Markandeya performed many austerities, but when he was caught in the ocean, it took Sri Krishna 7 whole ages until he went to rescue him from Varuna. The scriptures declare that the merciful Lord suffers in separation from his devotees. There is no one here, Uddhav, who will listen to the teachings of yoga, for, sings Surdas, our hearts are already filled with that dark Lord's love. Part 9 continues. In this way he sang many such poems to teach the principles to the Vaishnavas gathered there to listen. They all felt great joy and remarked that Surdas was a recipient of great grace. The next morning all the Vaishnavas went up to have the holy sight of Srinathji. They took leave of Surdas and returned to Gokul. In this way Surdas was an amazingly blessed disciple of Sri Acharyaji. So we complete our reading for today here. Jai Shri Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Varabadish Ki Jai, Aaj Ke Anand Ki Jai, and continuing with part 10 of Surdas Ji tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.